versus the winner of the Marine Cess matchup. So if Marine Cess player wins, he will remain undefeated with a draw versus the winner of this. But that can be really weird. So if the Marine Cess player loses, then the winner of this could be paired down to an X1, and it could be quite open-ended to see who could win the tournament. If the XO loses the last round, it could mean that an X1 could win the tournament, depending on tiebreakers. So that'll be really, really interesting. So Alessio's won the die roll here, which I'm not sure is even beneficial in the Kashtira mirror match.
Especially, I'd assume they know they're playing a mirror match. They've been set up at the top tables.
At this stage of the tournament, you've probably saw what your neighbours are playing.
Exactly.
So his game plan can probably be very, tailored towards what you would do in the mirror match. But what do you think the game plan is in the mirror? Like, what are you likely to do?
I think if you know maybe I'm wrong, but do you not just try and aim for a right heart pass? Or do you go for a 5 monster zone lock?
I think you always go for the 5 monster zone lock regardless, depending on no matter what the matchup. I always found that a rise heart pass against the mirror is awful. Like,
I can believe that.
It's just
you just trade with one Fenrir.
Because the lingering effect of a rise heart to banish all your opponent's cards is just not an effect. It doesn't matter because you don't care about your graveyard anyway. So all it is just one disruption, which again isn't even that great against the Kashtira engine. Because if you special Fenrir, you're forced to do it then, and then after that you special Unicorn, and then your whole engine just gets going. So I think he might have recognised that. I don't know if this has just been his game plan all tournament, but if it hasn't been, then he's doing this because he recognises that a Rise Heart pass against the mirror is just not great.
It's not enough, right?
Is Joe White playing the Beer in the main?
Not that I can see. So
okay, so nothing to worry about in that regard. Here. So this isn't the Lock Zone 5 combo. He needs the field spell for that. So he's going to just go for a regular lock 3, which is still a little bit oppressive. So it's not like, it's fine.
Yeah.
So it's more or less the standard stuff. Like the stuff that you would see like at the start of the format. The stuff it was doing when tier was a thing, like early on. Yeah. This was like the sort of combo that was done.
So yeah, the combo starts, the Big Bang, going to summon back one of the materials underneath the Shangri-La. Here. Joe White giving the thumbs up.
And when you pick between one or the other, so he's going for the monster zone.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
If you can only lock 3, the monster zone does make sense. You're right.
Yeah.
Which one do you pick here when you special up Big Bang? Do you generally go for the Unicorn or the Fenrir?
I
think it does matter.
I think it does matter, but I can't say which is better.
Yeah.
So I think.
I guess. What's he doing here? He's playing. Oh, that's cool. So he's using. He went into a Rise Heart earlier, so he can add back the Big Bang and then attach the Capiosis off the Scareclaw. That is really, really cool. So he's likely to go for the Mind Hacker here. Have a little peep of his extra deck just to confirm, yes, I am playing Kashtira. And let's have a look at his Joe's extra deck because this is important in the Kashtira match.
So when I click a quick glance, there are some one-offs in here. So there's a one-off Big Eye.
You 100% take Big Eye.
Yeah, definitely.
Big Eye is really, really good in the Kashtira mirror match, and which is why I often would want to play 2 because it's just very important. Taking their Rise Hawk can be a bit of a blowout.
And as we can see in Alessio's deck, he is playing with 2 copies.
Yeah, so he recognises, he really, really values Big Eye. So we didn't see what he did take there. But I'd be very surprised if it wasn't Big Eye. There's an argument that he could have took a Rise Heart because Joe is only playing 2 as opposed to the 3, which I'm very preference to. But I think your grind is just significantly more favoured if you just get rid of that Big Eye, for sure.
Let's see. I think he's going to attach one of Joe's cards, wanting to leave that Fenrir.
Oh, so he did banish the Big
Eye.
Eye.
Makes sense. I think that makes perfect sense there.
That does make sense, yeah. So now he's using Shangira to lock the 3rd and I think final zone in his turn.
For this turn, yeah.
So now I think it's going to come down to what other defensive cards Alessio has to disrupt his Kashtira engine.
If a card gets banished on Joe's field, that's just the rest of the zone's gone. The rest of the monster zone's gone, right?
So Shingira, he can decide whether he wants to use Shingira to summon a Fenrir Unicorn. I don't think you do, though.
No.
You 100% don't activate Shingira.
You just don't want to.
Because you don't want to give him an easier means to get the Zeus. Because you can special any Kashtira here. Put a Rise Heart on top. and I don't think a Rise Heart has 3 materials.
No,
So that would,
I think it might do. It might be wrong.
it might. I can't quite see it. Might do now.
I can't see the angle on it.
I know
yeah.
Theosis and Big Eye are underneath there, and Rise Heart at least. So yeah, it should have 3 materials. So it's not completely unreasonable to activate Shingira, but I wouldn't.
No.
I don't think you want to poke the bear.
It does have the impermanence there. I think you
okay.
just chain it to remove the impermanence, right?
Yeah. Like
And then that will lock the rest of the zones. Right?
Yes, so that can prove to be a bit of a nightmare. But it does activate Shingira though, so
Yeah,
it means
that's true.
so it unintentionally puts his Rise Heart online. So, but it means it triggers Mind Hacker, which will banish. So it does lock all 5 zones actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
it's quite unfortunate for Joe here, where he just.
you had to impermanently Rise. Did you have the impermanent Rise on actually?
I think yes and no, because I think
was there an argument to imperm Shingira?
I think maybe there's an argument that if he goes summon Fenrir per se, or Unicorn, Alessio will then attempt to remove it from play, face down. Then I think that's point is when you chain the imperm. Oh, once it's removed, when Shangri-La effect activates to lock a zone, that's when you chain the imperm, right?
I see. You might also just have another imperm from the Shingira, then these zone lockers don't matter. Oh, that
Book of Moon.
that also
but
just
if
as
he
good.
has
Does
the
he have
Forbidden
Forbidden
Lance,
Lance? Then this is going to be quite problematic. It's
That's
not.
quite
So these
risky.
X marks the spot here, and then off they go.
So now Joe White's got quite a, I don't want to say easy way to victory, but he just
it's a
has
good
to work
start.
towards that Zeus, doesn't he?
And this is why I mentioned that is going second in the mirror just better, because you have instances like this where your cards are just so good at going second into
Exactly.
a Kashtira game state, which you just naturally would play anyway, i.e.
Exactly.
Book of Moon and Imperm. And now it's just like this Unicorn can put in so much work. He can clear his entire field.
Exactly.
He can just go into a Rise Heart, attack anything, then go into Zeus and get rid of his entire field. And if he can get Birth and he also has a follow-up here, he can do everything.
Yeah.
It's just...
So you can clear the field and then just do your combo back. And what's Alessio going to do at that?
It went from looking really good for Alessio to looking really bad in one fell swoop.
Yeah. Although we have to also acknowledge that Joe has lost a good portion of his deck.
Yes,
that
can cause some variance as well, right? I don't know what you could use that'll be stressful, but the one-offs that you could play are Big Bang, and he's playing 2 Rise Heart, and so that can be quite problematic. Yeah. If he loses his Rise Hearts, that could be quite annoying.
Is it common to play 3 Birth now? I feel like it might have been at 2, or was it always at 3?
I think there might have been a scenario where people played less, but I think with the Lock 5 combo now...
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You just want to draw
You would max out on Birth. Birth's also just probably the best extender and probably the best card to open, so just because of... It's just the best push.
I'm not sure I agree on this here. Summoning the Fenrir. I think, do you not just want to activate that Zeus first?
I guess it depends on the rest of his hand. Like if he doesn't have another monster, then he can't do the Birth line.
Yeah, that's true.
So he might have to just remove his cards and buy another means. Also, if he goes for the Zeus line and he has infinite impermanence, he'll want to cry.
Exactly.
So maybe he just has to do these regular checks, and I think you have to generate as much card advantage as you can, and then go for the Zeus line.
See, maybe this is just my perspective, but I think just generating card advantage in Yu-Gi-Oh! It doesn't matter as where you're getting in the game. I think just generally generating more advantage just gets you in that net positive spot. Yeah. That it should be a lot harder for you to lose this game.
Well, here he might not even need to go for a Zeus line because he's lost his Big Eye. See, I think the
Big Eye would be a different.
A Big Eye would have been a sound player here. Let's have a look at his extra deck to see what sort of lines he can go down.
So he has Draco Sack still, and then it's just the standards.
His extra deck doesn't have that much utility because he plays Lingaribo to respect Ibli.
What do you think about that?
I just think
I think
ignore
now
it. I think you just ignore it. Like your cards naturally
if it happens,
beat Ibli anyway with Econ, Book of Moon, and Book of Eclipse. Like at that point, you just don't care. So what's happening? So he's just went in a Flare Metal and he's just attacked Shingiri.
Yep.
So I guess he's going for the Zeus line.
Yeah. The only issue is again if there isn't infinite impermanence per se.
Yeah, that would suck a lot. But I think this is probably the most obvious play, and And let's see if it does get rid of everything. Yeah, as
go,
expected, there is infinite impermanence there. Oh!
Forbidden Lance.
Forbidden
Oh,
Lance.
That's pretty powerful.
That's sick, because now he can clear his entire board, special summon the Scareclaw, and make his own Arise Heart.
Yep. And he's just sailing.
Ooh, he is. He's good, yeah. I don't know if the other effective Zeus... he has Rise Heart. Oh, you can do much more
can
here.
do so much
you
more
can normal
now.
Rise Heart and just like put himself in a position where...
Oh.
I think I see it.
This is the kind of dynamic about the cash deck I do actually really like.
Yeah.
So you could just do these cool plays with the Rise Heart to start generating these free cards that just appear out of nowhere. And once you got Birth,
This
kiss,
is
it's just
sick.
amazing.
He's just going... He's going to banish the Theosis to add back the Birth. And then if Alessio top decks a spell extender, the Bird's just going to banish his resources face down because they're all in the graveyard now because of Zeus. It's just, this is
so
really
where
good.
do you think he commits to a Shangri-La? No, there's no way. There's no way.
No, I don't think so. Like, I think a Rise Heart is probably like, still ideal.
Do you think he goes for straight into a Rise Heart, or do you think maybe he makes something like a Mind Hacker or something along those lines as well?
Mind Hacker won't be the most unreasonable thing in the world, so you can try and get rid of his resources in his extra deck. He does play 3 Arise Heart, and he does play 2 Big Eye as well, so the impact that would have would be very minimal.
So far, he's only used 3 cards from his extra deck, right? He used the Shangri-La.
He didn't Prosperity either, so I think Mind Hacker just, in terms of taking away extra deck resources, it's probably not the most viable thing. But to just get rid of resources in the deck, it might be reasonable.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he can use Birth to bring this back. Maybe he wants to go for a Rise Heart with 3 materials, so then he has a form of disruption. I think that's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he can just have any monster that can just crash into the Xyz and like just do some back. Yeah, he is going for this.
I was curious if you made the Mind Hacker, would that put, and then made a Rise Heart, would that put 3 materials on the Rise Heart? Because then you get 1 from the Mind Hacker initial.
I think it would have. Yeah.
But
yeah, that probably would have been better just to get rid of cards in his deck.
Yeah.
And I think he probably should have put these monsters in attack mode, so
it just
they had to crash into them rather than just attacking them for free.
I think that's a lot. That's really important to note as well, especially because if he crashes into not the Zeus gets a material, right? So.
I think it's not quite natural to put them in defensive mode, right?
Definite.
But,
especially Main Phase 2.
But I think that would have been better in attack mode unless I'm missing something. And his only form of disruption is our Ice Heart, which isn't very strong against Kashtira. And this is how you get into these like weird sort of back and forth. It may look like it's good that Zeus cleared all his resources.
You see, he does have his Prosperity in hand as well to follow up into this.
Yeah, and then the Mind Hacker play actually would have been quite good here because then Prosperity would have been worse.
So yeah, he had used 1, 2, 3 cards from his extra deck. Another one gone. That's 4.
Because you could have arguably took away his last Arise Heart. Sorry, his second Arise Heart, which would have made his grind like a bit more awkward.
Yes, exactly. So let's just see
in this position, when I played mirrors like this and somebody prosperities, I just try and snipe one of the extra monsters to see if I hit a Goliath. I don't think my opponent would ever be silly enough to banish a Goliath.
I think
they just might. So it's just like I was going to take it. Oh, he's going to birth.
The more I think about this birth as well, this like.
I think they resolved birth incorrectly. I think it has to be on resolution.
Of
the spell.
That's true.
Rather than an activation of the spell.
Impermanence there. The impermanence does a lot there as well, actually.
If he already has engine, then yeah. Imagine not taking the field spell.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Not where he's going.
Yeah, don't need it.
Don't need it. So let's see where Alessios goes with this.
So he's just. Oh,
and then he gets.
That can attach though.
Yeah.
The game state is just kind of. It needs to attach twice.
Yeah.
That's how the game. Yeah, it needs to. Well, I guess if we just say that.
So what do you think?
And the game state's kind of fixed now. Okay, it's not activated. Okay, this is where stuff can get really crazy. Because that can just deal with this entire field.
Exactly, yeah.
Because Fenrir is just a really ridiculous card.
That's absurd, yeah.
Then where do you go from here?
When you think about it, like when you think about Fenrir, you always think, oh, it's that card that decks can play. just as an extra bit of utility, and it's a body.
Yeah,
However,
it's a big guy that you can just summon for free.
Exactly. Whereas now in this deck, it does everything. It's a starter. It's a one-card starter.
By itself, I don't think it does a whole lot in terms of engine, but in terms of removal, it's quite decent. If he already has Birth, then this is going to do a decent chunk of stuff, because you can banish like the Ogre off the Rise Heart. So that means you can summon back the Ogre and just control Joe's top deck, which is a play that I like to do.
That's really cool. I didn't think about that as well. That's really nice.
But just you can just see what your opponent's going to get, and so you can control the top deck. He needs to remove. He's not going for that play though.
I don't think either of these players are on Ogre. I might be wrong.
They're not.
That's Joe White. No, that's Alessio's deck. He is playing the Ogre. He isn't playing the preparations.
Oh, they're both Ogre lovers, but they just don't play the preparation, which I guess is fine. I would still value Ogre.
It's just it's
outside
another name within your deck, right?
Well, yeah, it's just like he's big. He's a big fella, and he has that utility of controlling the opponent's top decks, which is it matters. Comes up enough.
So we're gonna see. I'm not sure really, because it feels like Alessios is taking control, but it could just be another draw from Joe where it's just.
Well, the thing is, like,
flips it back in his favor.
These decks feel really powerful against other decks, but when they're against each other, they just feel really underwhelming. Like, I feel really underwhelmed right now with the plays that are happening, because I know that, like, on the clapback, it's just not going to matter. But Alessio still having a copy of Big Eye is not underwhelming at all. Now I feel very, very whelmed indeed. So rightly so, he takes all three of the materials, so he doesn't have like a free disruption. But yeah, this is still going to be very oppressive, because he's just took his a Rise Heart, and Joe only has one extra one. So if he has a way of like going to Mind Hacker to take his last one, then like
it's a bit
things are going to get really awkward for him. He could also banish his last Zeus as well.
So we'll have to see what happens next, because there's not much left.
I guess this goes to show how important a card like Big Eye is. Cause
definitely.
If Joe had an extra copy in his deck, I think his end field would have just been significantly better.
You see Joe tilting now, like, what's going on? So he's going to resolve Defiosis, and there we go, the Ogre.
Yeah,
in defense position, sadly.
You can get Big Bang as another form of disruption if he didn't banish it face down.
Yeah, I think it's already gone, unfortunately.
No, he did it. He did it at the start, right? So
we can put it to the attack.
This is quite interesting. Then I saw maybe he's just using it as a. I don't know why he used it then. Actually, if he's not going to extend with it.
Yeah, maybe in the main phase too.
He just kind of put it on the board for no.
I think he's going to.
Reason.
I think he's going to use the Fenrir to clear the Birth here, right? That seems like the most obvious play.
Zeus is just stuck there.
Yeah.
Not that that's like terrible. And I guess leaving the Zeus on
the
field means that he actually can't play.
Yeah.
Because the Birth's the one that's keeping them in the game.
Yeah,
you just get rid of that. And then if he tries to activate Monster Effect, you just take more things away from him. And of course, right? He just normal summons another Fenrir. So he could arguably Big Eye again, right? It's not once per turn. You can just take the Zeus.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just no way. Oh, he's gonna clean up with the. I understand now. He's gonna summon the Dark Armed XYZ surely, and then destroy the Birth.
And I think it might also just be roughly around the game, right?
It's a lot. Oh, is it exact game? No. Oh yeah, it's 7-8, right? Am I wrong? Am I dumb?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I've just got like a dumb brain. Yeah, I just feel like the obvious play here. You just pop that with the Dark Armed XCs.
Yeah. Or he makes his own Rise Heart, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's also fine, but I'd kind of feel like the Dark Armed XCs was also just fine. Because you want to get rid of Birth, right? Like, you can't leave that. You can't.
I guess you just want to try and minimalise your opponent's draw for turn, right?
I don't know. Like leaving that Birth there, not for me. Not for me at all. Especially like the Zeus was fine, but playing another Rise Heart, like wasting another resource.
Oh no, he's still got one, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't really get it. You could have had like Zeus. A Rise Heart, which eventually would have got free materials because of just natural gameplay, and the Dark Arm would have got rid of the Birth. And if you just leave the Zeus on the field, as well. Like he can't actually play. Like it doesn't matter what his top pick is.
Exactly.
Like so you can book a moon like this to try and force it. You don't care, but you do kind of care now because Birth's still there.
Joe White giving a think there. So he's gonna. I assume the Birth is to follow here, and then maybe.
Like it's fine because you can just do it when you have
prosperity as well.
Yeah.
There's lots to go there.
Yeah, but Lock 5 is also extremely powerful, so it's a really difficult decision, and I don't think either or one or the other is wrong.
Joe
He has chose to start.
First.
Valuing the Lock 5 is...
Gamma the Fenrir at the beginning. What do you think about
that? I don't think that's completely unreasonable either. It means that you're guaranteed to not get Lock 5'd.
Joe ashed it.
Ash? He really valued this Fenrir resolving. That's interesting. Because the Gamma stays in his hand, so he can Gamma again.
Yeah, although I will admit, I've ashed a Gamma in my time. But I'm not sold on it in this specific scenario.
Yeah, I guess it depends what the rest of his hand is. Like, if he really, really needs this Fenrir to resolve, that makes sense. And this can banish for cost as well, so the Gamma interaction on here is not great. Yet, I'm still not seeing it yet.
I'm not seeing it either, Darren. I won't lie to you.
Because,
sure.
He mustn't have had another monster in his hand.
Yeah.
So now it makes more sense.
Yeah,
if his Fenrir got Gammed here, his Theosis would have been a blank.
That's true.
And then he would have just had to pass. Yeah, he definitely had to ash that Gamma there, otherwise he wouldn't be in this game state.
It just feels very...
He would have had to pass.
It feels very rough though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not great, but like he's in a significantly better position, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That bit I'll give you, yeah.
Like, he would have been in a worse position if he didn't ash it.
So he can still use the Rise Hearts room from play a Kashtira card from deck.
Yeah, and if he has the Birth, which again, I don't think... He wouldn't have... If he had Birth, I don't think he would have ashed the Fenrir, because he would use Birth, bring back Fenrir, then activate Theosis.
So he's then going to remove another 3 cards from play.
Is his last 2 cards in hand Scarecrow, Kashtira, and Theosis? Because that'd be pretty sick.
That'd be amazing if he has at least the Scarecrow Kashtira. But no, if he had the Scarecrow Kashtira...
He banished the Gamma face down? Probably would have banished the Driver face down. So sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he just likes looking
feeling
at
a bit
Driver.
frisky, yeah. Might just want the Driver out.
It's a tuner, you don't trust those tuners.
So...
I'm not sure what he's going with this other than Shangiri Pass.
But there's no... That just can't be the right...
I mean, there's nowhere else you can really go. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
Right. Calling the set cards. Solemn Judgment, Book of Moon.
Sure.
Let's go. I believe. I'm optimistic here.
It could just be for... Well...
He is summoning in the Stand My Face as well, so he has no fear.
You have to. Yeah, I think you have to. You're in a position where it's looking really rough.
But it's a rough position, especially just because if he does get that one Tearlament monster...
And this is why I feel so weird to start with. Oh, he did put in the Lightning Storm.
He's going to flip the Judgment.
Oh, yes, he had to.
Right.
He had to.
I'm halfway there. The last remaining set card? Book of Moon.
So I wasn't massively convinced on Lightning Storm, but I think it does make sense with the amount of back row that you can play.
Even for cards like Forbidden Lance and even those types of cards, it can just be the difference
Force them,
in getting attacked through, right?
So now he effectively has to... He knows what he has to play through because Joe doesn't have any more cards in hand.
Exactly.
So he just has to respect Fenrir and a set card.
Yeah.
Because the Shangiri is not doing an awful lot. If anything, it's helping him play.
For definite, you can see there's a lot of cards that Joe could have. You could have Impermanence, Book of Moon. I think those are the only 2 cards I would say.
Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse here would
Book of Eclipse
really
maybe
strong.
as well, actually, yeah.
But Alessio has Engine here. Like he's either getting the Field Spell or Unicorn. That's for sure.
Just depends which one he wants to take.
Yeah, it's probably the Field Spell.
Yeah, he just wants to start with Fenrir.
Unless he just really just want to lose the Cosmic.
Yeah.
Which, does Joe play Cosmic?
I don't think... Oh, he does in the side deck?
Interesting.
Do you think? Maybe,
I don't think it's completely unreasonable for him to side in Cosmic. And if he's probably thinking, yes, you take it, I've got Cosmic. Yeah, I mean, like...
Always going to zone lock. Go on, Joe.
Yeah, not unreasonable.
Yep. So we can get 2 zone locks.
If that's a Cosmic, though, I'll scream. Like, that could be crazy. Like,
Especially if he has taken it, instead of something else.
It's not an unreasonable thing to put in, but I'm not sure if there's anything I would take out for it. So I'm not really expecting it.
Maybe
at
if you
all.
want to take Gammas out, maybe.
Not unreasonable either.
Because he has put the room for the Judgments in, so it could either be Eclipse or Cosmic, maybe.
It'll probably be Book of Eclipse and Judgment you put in before
Yeah,
Cosmic,
I
to be
think
honest. Yeah, and we know he hasn't took out Ash, so it's not likely a Cosmic.
So
he's
already nodded.
I'll hold the screen. You have a look at it there.
Who's that? Oh, did I miss it?
It has to be Book of Eclipse or Book of Moon here, or he's gonna get.
Yeah, because I don't.
It's gonna suck.
I don't know. Would you pay 4,000 life points for an infinite impermanence? I'm not sure because I don't think the infinite impermanence does enough.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I would definitely play a 4K to keep a Book of Moon or a Book of Eclipse.
That I agree with. But
like the second he specials one of his Kashtira monsters, you
just flip that.
You make him read a book. Get him down. Yeah, he's just like, okay,
okay. Infinite impermanence. It has to be now.
I'm not sure if I'd pay 4K for an infinite impermanence.
Neither am I. But
maybe he just thinks he's game state's just so bad he just had to.
The only thing that could be interesting...
I guess he doesn't have to activate it right this second. Oh, it is imperm. Okay, sure. Well, it doesn't look like he's really getting anywhere with this either.
Then do you activate your Fenrir on the new chain to remove it from play? So I think you have to, right?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I think Joe just realised what happened.
Did he or he didn't already activate it, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I think you. Problem is, if you remove it, then he just specials the unicorn, and you want to cry.
Definitely.
But he can't have free materials on this, so he's still in it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a.
And the Shangira sticking there really helps.
So yeah.
Alessio, if he can banish another card to put free materials on, I think in draw phase he can just go. Or he can just go Zeus actually. It's fine. Yeah, just put him on 0 cards. That's completely reasonable.
He gets an additional draw from the Garura as well, and the field.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I like that. That's really good. He has to get rid of that the field spell as well. Bear in mind.
Yep.
So yeah, just assume that field spell's not there. That is in fact in the graveyard. His draw for turn has to be Unicorn or Bust. Oh, it's a set card. Okay.
Not looking the best for Joe now.
No, but Alessio also needs a follow up. But he can just.
But even then,
it's a 3K. It's 1K.
Oh,
you can put another Zeus on top. yeah. I think that's game set match, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not looking.
Okay, they've recognised that planet should not be there, which is fine. It wasn't impacting the game state at all, so nothing to worry about.
Just 100 less damage, closer to the game.
It's just 1K to go. That has to be Unicorn, and even if it's Unicorn, it's just going to get Zeused, and I hope that sets an imperm. It's just pass.
I think it's fine to pass here. I think even if you do have a play, I think give it another turn and see what happens.
Oh no, it's just skip.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.